And our motto is, get salon owners profitable fast. You got it.
That's the idea. And this morning we are definitely going to try and give you lots of information to help you realize that in a very efficient and quick fashion.
For sure. In fact, today's presentation is so important, Catherine, because I think that one of the most important questions that we get asked all the time. Oh, you jumped ahead. No, I jumped ahead.
You jumped ahead. She's a little too much coffee this morning, I think she's had.
I'm excited. The money is in the follow-up, Marketing 101. And to be honest, folks, I've got to tell you that Catherine is the queen of marketing because she has embraced the concept that every business owner has to be a marketer first and foremost. Because to be honest, if you don't have anybody sitting in your chairs or having services in your spa, are you a business? Not really.
No, you're just a money pit then.
Exactly. So we really need to be making sure that that we are marketing every single day. And marketing is all encompassing. And I think it's one thing that our industry has not been good at in the past. And I think it's something that we need to strive to be better at every single day if we really and truly want to be profitable in this business.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you are, oh, we're getting some blowback there. It doesn't matter if you're an independent or if you have a booth rental salon or if you have multiple salons. It's all the same premise. You know, from a single person, you need to be doing the same things in order to grow your business and to keep your business healthy and profitable.
And, you know, before we even get started, because I'm sure, you know, if you've been following us at all, you know that Catherine and I are all about putting things in systems.
Yeah.
And marketing is just another system for you to follow up on. And if you do what we tell you to do today and put it all in writing, you can't help but be successful.
Yeah, put it all into practice. And it's you know, it's going to be a simple process to do, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The title says the money is in the follow-up, and that's what we're going to explain to you. Where is the money in the follow-up? So
the number one question that we get asked probably every day, and I'm in and out of salons every single day, and here's what people say. How or where do I get more clients?
And would that be in the majority of salons that you go into? They're all asking?
Every single salon, I think, asks. Except, I'm gonna do a little caveat here because okay. I'm gonna say that the only ones that don't ask me are the ones that have marketing systems in place because they already know where they're finding their new clients and what to do with it.
Okay, and what to do with them is the important one. So here is the question that I believe that we should be asked. How do I keep the clients I currently have and get them spending more money with me?
I love that. And if only every single salon owner asked us that question, it would be so much faster and easier to explain the whole scenario.
Because here's what happens. We see people throwing money at marketing all the time. And when I say throwing money at marketing, you know, it's a Band-Aid. We need more clients. Let's put an ad out.
You know? Yes, a pretty picture.
A pretty picture, which, you know, I know there's no return on investment for most of those ads that we put out. None of us have very few of us have a real system in place. You just know that we're slow. We need to get more bums in the chair or in the treatment rooms. And how are we going to do that? So, you know, it becomes, okay, let's just throw an ad together and get it out. But my question is, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Aileen, but I really believe that we shouldn't spend any money getting clients to come through the door unless we have systems in place to keep those clients once they come through the door.
It continues to frustrate me on a regular basis because tell me, Catherine, what do you figure the industry averages in bringing in a new client into the salon? The cost.
What the cost?
Yeah.
It's usually around $80 to $100 to get each new client to come through the door. When you think about, the cost of a website, any marketing tools that you have, training tools that you have, all added in, it's about $80 to $100 to entice a new client to come in through your door. That's a lot of money. So why would you not try and keep them?
Exactly. Because if you think that even if you're seeing, 100 new clients a month, that's like $800 to $1,000 a month blown out the door. If you don't have the system in place to keep them there, you're just waving bye-bye dollars.
Yeah. And when I work with, when I consult with clients, one of the first things I say to them, and they all say, I really need to get bums in the chair. So my question is, so what are you doing with the clients you currently have, and what systems do you have in place to keep them? And it's very seldom that people have real solid systems in place to get those clients to come back. And I often hear, I did it for a couple of months and then I fell off the wagon with it.
Mm-hmm.
You get busy, life gets in the way. But I'm here to tell you, unless you are consistent with those systems, it is not going to work for you.
Well, what's one of our favorite expressions? Inconsistency is the enemy of equality.
Yeah.
And guess what happens when you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results? Show them, Kath.
So I put this little slide in because honestly, I see people going absolutely crazy trying to find clients. Like, where are the clients? How am I going to find them? So I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want them to come and cart you off in a straitjacket. So we are going to help you today understand follow-up marketing and what what it is that you need to put in place before you even start spending money to bring new clients through the door. Make sense? What was that? And
new clients of the current client recommendations, clients coming in because of recommendations, 10 times more likely to stay with you.
Absolutely.
Excellent point, Carolyn.
Carolyn made a comment and she said, that client recommendations, clients coming in because of a recommendation are 10 times more likely to stay with you, and you're absolutely correct. But again, that is really follow-up marketing as well. So what exactly is follow-up marketing? Well, we're going to talk about that. And
I'm so glad to hear that.
And I love to use this little graphic because does everybody remember when AT&T did this whole marketing promo, reach out and touch someone? Well, let me tell you, that is what follow-up marketing is in a sentence. And in a nutshell.
Exactly. And it really and truly encompasses what we are trying to do within the salon business in keeping in touch with our clients.
Because here's what I often see. A client comes in to get a cut and color or a haircut or a facial, waxing, whatever they're coming in for. They leave, and it may be 6 weeks, it may be 8 weeks, it may be 12 weeks before you see that client again. And for a lot of us, we have absolutely no interaction with that client in that time frame. What is that client? That client is free.
They're what I call floaters because, when I talk to stylists and trained stylists about marketing and their business, and, I always tell them that if they need to count the number of clients that they have to develop their book, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And I tell them, okay, I want you to count how many clients you've got. I say you can only count the clients that are actually rebooked. Because if they haven't rebooked with you, they're floaters. They're out there because if on the day that they decide they're going to get their hair done, it may not be with you.
Yeah, and if you haven't touched them, if you haven't reached out and touched them in that time frame, what that does, it brings you to mind.
Exactly.
Right? So if they receive something from you, they're going to say, aha, I need to call them. I need to, make that follow up. But it's all in how well you keep in touch with them. And I hear this a lot. I don't want to be a pest.
Oh, I don't want to bother you.
I don't want to bother them. You know what? It isn't about being a pest or bothering them. Now, if you send an email out every day, you're being a pest.
For sure.
You're being a pest and they will unsubscribe, for sure. But if you are reaching out to them with relevant information, they are not going to say that you are a pest. One of those email pests. And I have them. People that email me every single day, and I just simply go on there and I unsubscribe.
Yeah, and I think you all know what we're talking about. So we're not talking about that kind of pesky interaction. We're talking about valuable, reach out and touch
someone.
Or
everyone. All of yours.
Can I sing now?
No, you can't sing. Don't let her sing. Anyway, follow-up 101. There's a lot of information to go through here. So we're going to break it down into groups. I just want to give you an overview. So basically what we're talking about with follow-up 101 is sending out new client thank you letters, sending out miss you letters when you haven't seen someone for a while, a newsletter. And a newsletter intimidates lots and lots of business owners, but it can be simple. And we're going to give you some tips today about how to make a really great newsletter. Birthday cards.
Oh, my birthday's coming up.
I know it is. I won't forget. Birthday cards, another lovely way to reach out and touch someone. Client callbacks. After a client has been in for the first time, have someone call them back. But don't forget your regular clients. We'll talk about that when we get to that segment. And then, social media, Facebook posts, contests, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. And the biggie for me is monthly promotions.
And it should be a biggie.
Following up.
It should be a biggie for everybody.
Yeah, we need to have monthly promotions and let our clients, don't keep it a secret. Lots of people keep it a secret. Don't keep it a secret. Let your clients know what it is that you're doing. So we'll move along, and we've broken this into segments so we can really kind of go in depth into each one of these, so that you can understand the value in it.
Exactly, because again, we're talking about systems here, and this is really important. So when you have everything all lined up, and thank God you're all Vagaro users, because it will make your whole system a heck of a lot easier to manage.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that as we go into it. So let's talk about the very first thing, new client letters, because as I said, it costs a lot of money to get a new client to come through the door. It is staggering to me how many times I talk to salon owners who do not do anything. They do not follow up with the new clients once they have been in.
It is really amazing, isn't it? I think that we really tend to be oblivious to the concept of marketing and business. We're so intent on taking care of our clients when they're in the chair, we forget about taking care of them when they're out of our chair.
Absolutely. And for me, you've worked hard to get a new client to walk through your door. Now have a system in place where you're going to reach out and touch them once they have left. And there are a number of systems that you can use for that. I mean, you can simply send out a lovely letter saying, thank you, it was great to see you, blah, blah, blah. Here's where people fall down. A lot of places send out thank you cards, which is lovely. A handwritten thank you card.
Well, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I think that's lovely. But what a lot of people don't do is put an offer in that thank you card or on that letter to invite them to come back.
It's true. In fact, Catherine and I are going to go out to lunch today to one of our favorite restaurants because we got in the mail a thank you card for our business with a $10 gift certificate off of our next meal. So we can hardly wait to go out and use it. Were we upset about getting that?
No, it was great. In fact, we're going to go and we're taking a third person with us today, so they'll actually get more more business out of it.
Exactly.
So new client letters. And with Vagaro, the templates are there. You can go in, you can create a letter, you can send it out. It takes no time to do it. So there is no excuse. I'm a big believer because email's great, and I use email a lot, but I do believe, and we've talked about this before, that a lot of emails do not get opened. So we have to, be a little bit conscious of that. You can send out your new client letters via email if that's what you choose to do. I personally choose to send out letters via the old-fashioned mail, because one of the things that is happening is we're not getting a lot of mail anymore. Would you agree, Aileen?
Absolutely. Most of the mail I get is, offers from pizza places or
yeah. So marketing pieces,
right? But
what
an
I'm
envelope.
What I'm talking about is a hand addressed envelope.
Exactly. It's so cool to see my name. Oh, somebody sent me something.
So one of the things I recommend is that you create the letters in Vagaro and stuff them in an envelope and mail them out. It may seem old-fashioned, but I'll tell you, all of the big marketers do it. Google uses direct mail more than anybody. Google.
Exactly. And because they know what's happening out there, that we're not getting the open rate on emails. It's just kind of ignored. We are so inundated with information from all over the place. But to get a letter in the mail, as funny as it seems, it's just so much more powerful. Now, one of the things that Catherine and I want to make sure that you understand too is when we're talking about systemizing things, we also mean that you pick a time that this is going to be done. It isn't just something that you randomly do every so often. But for example, every Monday morning or Tuesday morning or whatever it is.
Every Monday or Tuesday morning, in my own business, it's Tuesday morning, and they open up the database, look to see all the new clients that were in the week before, and we send out the letters. Now, it's a simple system. We have a file folder, and we keep a running list of all the letters we've sent out, because here's the other thing. Most of us send out one letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we don't hear back from the client, then we don't do anything beyond that. You need to work in a series. So 3 letters are the magic number. Yeah, the magic number. So you send out the first letter and you don't hear anything back. 2 weeks later, if you haven't heard anything back from that client, you send out the second letter, just as a lovely reminder that, you have an offer, you've sent them out a letter, there's an offer in the letter, and you want to make sure that they're not going to miss out.
Well, Catherine, just to quickly input here, what would that offer look like? Could you give an example of that?
For our new client letters, we give them a $20 voucher to return for a second visit.
Awesome.
And then we often will include a $20 voucher in there to be given to a friend.
Ooh, I like that. What a great concept to bring in new clients.
Yeah. So, again, it's just, you got to keep trying to do these things. But again, it's a system. It has to be done. You want to reach out to those clients and make sure that they're coming back. New client, I've mentioned this number before. New client retention in our industry sits around 25%.
That's frightening.
It's dismal, and it is frightening, because think of the amount of money that you have just lost.
Exactly. And really, when you think that you should really be sitting probably around 80 or 90%, when you think about, if you spent that money to bring in a new client, what are you doing to keep them there?
Yeah.
And why are you letting their dollars escape you?
Yeah, but even 50-60% is a lot better than a 25% new client retention rate. So we have to be mindful that this is what our industry average is, and what are you going to do to be way better than that industry average? Client callbacks. This is another thing that we've employed in our salon for a long time. And when I started it years ago, I actually hired one of our clients, and she was newly retired. She had been a customer service rep. And so I hired her and said, you know, we'd love you to do this. We will pay you in services.
Lovely.
And for years, that's what she did until she really retired and went off to warmer climates, which I can't blame her.
Not after this winter.
But every week we would send her a list and she would call these clients. And usually she had 3 questions, you know. We changed up the questions, but one of the questions that we always ask, we finished up with, is there anything we could have done better? Because feedback is critical.
Oh my goodness. Something that we are always so afraid to do is to ask our clients how we did and what we can do better. And yet, especially if we've got someone neutral doing the calling for us, you know, not the service provider who provided the service, but somebody neutral like your front desk or your manager or whoever, right? To phone up and find out what it is, to make that connection, but also what it says to the client is that you care.
Absolutely. Yeah, that you care. And one thing, you know, a lot of people say, well, I think the stylist should, the person that did the service should be the one that makes the call. Just from my own experience, one of the things that I found is they are very hesitant to do that.
Well, that's why I say it should really be somebody neutral, because it, you know, if there is a problem, the client is often hesitant to mention it to the person who did the service for them, right? But if it's somebody neutral, then you've got that liaison between, you know, the problem and the correction. That it makes it just so much easier to deal with both parties that way.
Yeah, and I mean, really, when you think about it, how many new clients do you get in a week? It is not going to take a full day to do this. It you know, it could be half an hour to an hour.
And I just wanted to throw this out too, because I love the concept of solving problems, because when you solve a problem, you got a customer for life.
Totally. And I will tell you that this in itself has saved so many people in our business. You know, we've managed to get people to come back in. You know, if when they did the callback, there was any hesitation, it was Adriana made a note of it and sent it back to us immediately so that one of us could follow up with it. Because and it's just so critical that we keep as many of these people as we can.
And that you reach out and touch.
Yeah, we're reaching out and touching them. But we even went one step further. If somebody was not happy with our service, we invited them back in. If we got them back in, we would do their service for free. I would take it one step further and send them out something else in the mail to say, thank you so much for being honest.
And for giving us another chance.
Yeah, we really appreciate that you came back. And so here is another, you know, whether it's a $20 voucher, $10 voucher, but just a way of saying thank you.
You know, one of the things that we forget about is the long time value of a good client. If you think about how many dollars your client will spend with you over the period of a year, it is worth the investment, because it's a heck of a lot cheaper keeping a current client happy than trying to bring in new clients on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Every time you do something for every client, think about what that client is worth to you over the course of 1 year, and then multiply it by 5, and that will tell you what a client is truly worth to you. They're not worth a haircut.
No.
They're worth way more than that.
They're worth thousands of dollars.
And I really go out of my way to try and explain that to all of the stylists and estheticians that I've ever trained, is lifetime value of your clients. Because we tend to be kind of tunnel vision and we see what's right in front of our face today, but we need to look long term. So moving right along, I hope you all got something out of that for new client letters
and callbacks. I love this one.
Now this one, some people call them miss you letters. I call them raise the dead. Tongue in cheek, tongue in cheek.
So, I like the Lazarus Project, no matter what.
Whatever. But miss you letters. You all have a database. You're all with Vagaro. You all have this information at your fingertips.
That's the most important thing. And again, here's your system, people. You pick the time and the date that you're going to handle your miss you letters.
Yeah. Well, usually once a month is good for checking out the people that haven't been back to see you in, you can 90 or 120 days, you can actually choose the length of time that you want to go back to see who hasn't been back in. And then you create a letter. Again, Vagaro has templates on there, and it's pretty simple. My Miss You letter starts like this.
Hang on for Kath. We just got a question from Crystal. What are the 3 questions that we needed to ask? We only went over one because I so rudely interrupted you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crystal, as I said, we changed them up, but I always want to know how the front desk, how they felt the front desk, they were handled at the front desk. So we always ask them a question about the front desk. The other one was, were they happy with their service? Were they thrilled with their service?
Or delighted.
Or delighted. Yeah, think about your word that you want to use. Was everything good? How is it going? And then the last question always is there anything we could have done better? So it will be different for everyone. We have a very big business. I want to know how my front desk, how they were handled at the front desk, because that is the make or break place. We get 3 seconds basically to either create a good impression or a bad impression.
Hear, hear. And much better a good impression.
Totally. So, the questions are gonna change for everybody, but I would always, the second and third ones would always be much the same, and that would be about the service.
Yeah, live and die by absolutely.
Yeah, Lauren, you are so right.
Yeah, we call it the gold mine of the salon. If it's done right, it's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. So sorry about that. I was getting into the Miss You letters. Where was I? I completely lost.
We were on Miss You letters and Raise the Dead. You said that we're only going to do it really once a month. We've got our database that we can call from. Yeah.
So Vagaro, you have the database that you can look at, and then basically the Miss You letters. What mine starts with is, we feel awful. Did we do something? In fact, I don't have it here, but it starts off with, we feel awful. We haven't seen you. Blah, 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 and it goes on. And if anybody wants a copy of that letter after this, I would be happy to send you out a copy of that letter. Again, we send a series of 3 letters because more often than not, they don't respond with the first one. And here's the biggie. When I send out these Miss You letters, I personally believe that we should put a really good offer in there. We send out letters with a $50 gift voucher in them for them to come back in and experience another service with us. Because I know if I get those people back in my door, and the lifetime value of keeping even half of them will more than make up for those $50 vouchers.
And again, when we start thinking about that industry average of $80 to $100, it's still inexpensive rather than cheap. And I got to tell you, one of my customers, one of the salons that I call on regularly, has the most incredible Raise the Dead letter. She sends letters out from her dog.
That's right. Yeah.
And I just love it. It makes me chuckle every time I read it. She has 3 letters all about how her dog really misses seeing the client in the salon.
That's a worldwide salon marketing letter.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Yeah, that's a worldwide salon marketing one. It's from the dog. And we did send those out. I didn't find that we got the result from them that we do with the I Feel Awful letter.
Oh yeah.
Or We Feel Awful.
Yeah.
What that elicits from clients when we send that out, we often get clients phoning in and going, oh, I've been here. This is why, I lost my job and I just haven't had the funds. But they feel somehow that they need to
let us know
why, which is great. It starts the conversation again, right?
Right.
So,
and we are getting quite a few requests for a copy of that letter. So we will, of course, be putting up our email address at the end of the webinar. So please make note of us and just send us a little note so that we get your email address so we can send it to you, okay?
That would be just lovely.
Yeah.
So Miss You letters go out once a month. Again, they go out 1 week. If you haven't heard anything, they go out again 2 weeks later. If you haven't heard anything, it goes out again 2 weeks later. And I would give I would give them an 8-week time frame.
Yeah.
So there's always on the letter, you always have a date. So this is valid until blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So.
Because that creates that sense of urgency. And that's one of the most important things that we have to remember is that sense of urgency.
Absolutely. So miss you letters or raise the dead. We can just call it raise the dead between us. We don't have to. Don't you love that though?
I love that. Raise the dead. I love that.
And here's the big thing. We're more likely to get a client that has already been in to see us coming back in because they already know who we are, what we're like. And when they get that offer, they more often than not will come back in. And the people that come back in with ours, what we've noticed is that we do get rebookings from them, and that they do buy retail.
Hear, hear.
And
love that profit.
I love that. So we know that, they do work. So
newsletters and birthday cards. These are two more options that you can use in your follow-up marketing. And we find that newsletters are tremendously important. But here's what we also find is that salons who start doing newsletters do it once or twice and then completely fall off the map.
Yeah, because it seems a little overwhelming for some people. And really, try and keep it as simple as possible. And afterwards, in the next slide, I'm actually going to give you some tips on building your newsletter. And it's from a good friend of ours, Susan Vincent. And she actually has a business that builds salon.
I want that saloon one. Yeah.
Salon newsletters for people that are overwhelmed. So
I'm just actually looking at the newsletter that your salon put out this month. And I got to tell you, I just think it's fabulous. Now, I know that you're a big salon, and this is a 4-page newsletter. It's done on nice, heavy paper. So I know that you leave this in the salon for everybody to look at, but you email it out to all your clients as well.
We email it to all of our clients. And basically, it touches on all the principles that we're going to go into in the next slide. So we'll take you into the next slide. So Susan kindly put this together for us. So the key points for putting together a profitable newsletter. So 3 questions to ask of yourself first.
Will this information?
Somebody said, how can we see the newsletter? I did not scan the newsletter in because it's pretty lengthy. However,
we did try.
Again, if you send me your email, I will try and email it out to you.
Yeah, because you've got a copy.
Yeah, I have a link. So
I'm sure they send you a copy of the newsletter.
They do send me a copy of the newsletter. Thanks very much. So anyway, 3 questions for you to ask yourself before you ever put pen to paper with a newsletter. Will this information benefit my clients now? Can they use any part of this information in their daily lives? And is the newsletter focused on my business or my clients?
That is a great question.
And the answer is, Aileen?
Well, I don't want to say
it should be
all about the clients because it's not about me.
True.
I'm sure people are dying to know what I'm doing today, but however, really, we all want to be given information about ourselves and how it's going to impact our clients' lives, right? And the key points then for constructing a newsletter.
You have to have something in there that's personal.
And just let me see this. The first page is actually pictures from your post-Christmas party. So because everybody knows all the people, so there's just pictures for the clients, and it sort of shows
us all having
a good time.
There's a collage of pictures, of people having a good time.
3 stylists who are expecting.
Yes, we do.
And next?
And the next is promotional.
And I see that right here, you have this whole little promotion on keeping your color tone for the next 6 weeks and a little promotion on that. I think that's great. Next.
Educational.
That must be the top 8 tips to save your color, which I love.
That would be that. Now we are a salon and a spa, so we also have beauty resolutions. Rid yourself of the signs of aging.
So I'm immediately going to read this.
Yeah. And so it's all educational. So there's a lot of education in this newsletter. And then on the back page,
I love this. There's a recipe for dill pickle soup. And there is also another little segment that gives people a reason to come into the salon about the wig boutique.
Yeah, our hair loss center. Yeah, definitely. So we made sure that we hit each one of these things. So the recipe, we don't do a recipe every time, but we do them occasionally. People love them.
Yeah.
And it's a reason for them to print out the newsletter. It's a reason for them to take the newsletter home with them.
Here.
But often when I see people do a newsletter, this is what I see. It's all about them, because it's really an ad. What they're trying to do is sell the client something. This is all about building relationship. And again, you do have elements in there to build relationship, to teach them. You have some personal things. We always do 1 or 2 small promos in the newsletter. That's not the focus of our newsletter. It is for selling, but it is not the focus.
And you guys, I totally appreciate you sending me your email addresses on this, but once we get out of this webinar, your emails are going to disappear. So when we come up to the last slide and you see our email address, what we want you to do is send us a little note to our email address, because then we'll have your email address to send you back the information. Because once this webinar is over, your information is going to disappear on us. It
just makes it so much easier for us if we can do it that way. Okay, so why a newsletter? One of my mentors and my friends, who is a great marketer, he always says, if somebody asked me what is the very first thing I should do for marketing, and for him it would be to put a newsletter together, because it builds relationship and you can put promotions in there also. So it lets people know what's going on. It's a great way to stay in touch with them.
And it's personal. Mm-hmm. It's personal.
And when I had birthday cards or birthday emails in the previous, I put them together with newsletters, because one of the things that I think is great is if you can go in and just list some of your clients who are having birthdays in the month that your newsletter goes out.
Yeah. So often if you don't want to send out birthday cards, and we think birthday cards are important, but if you've got a big client list, and you can list people's birthdays in the newsletter.
Right.
And make a birthday offer.
Yes, you can. So you can simply list their birthdays in there and say, if you're on the list and you have a birthday this month, come on in. We have a $20 voucher waiting for you, because you can keep it online, keep it in their file, and again, that's great. Again, I would take it, because it's so easy now, and with Vagaro, you have the templates there. I would, again, just simply email out a little note to all of my clients that are having a birthday and say, come on in this month, you have a $20 voucher. Again, it's to get people in and use it. So that's newsletters and birthday cards. Reach out and touch someone.
Every day.
Social media. So we have Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. And to be honest, I use Facebook more than I use anything else.
Well, and I still think that most salons are still using Facebook more than anything else. I think Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter are secondary. People are definitely using it, but Facebook is still the number one social media. Oh, yeah. Sorry. But here's what I'm finding, Catherine, and maybe you can fill us in on this, is that when I go from salon to salon and I'm looking at their Facebook posts, sometimes they only post like once a month. I've got a couple that only post like a couple times a year. How effective is that?
Well, it's not effective at all. Really, you need to be doing 2 to 3 posts a day. Val said our sound is breaking up. I'm sorry, Val. I have no idea why that would be. We haven't done anything different. Sound is gone. Oh,
Vicky, I'm sorry.
Anybody else? Is the sound gone?
Sounds great to me.
Sounds great to me. Okay, so some people are having problems, some are not. Okay, sorry about that, but it will be recorded, so you will be able to get it on the recording. So, social media, Facebook. For me, 2 to 3 posts a day is what you really need to be looking at. Facebook is a relationship building tool. So build a relationship first before you start throwing offers out there. Because on some Facebook pages, that's all I see, offers. You know, coming today, 20% off, blah, blah, blah. People build relationships. Go on there, put posts. Again, no different than your newsletter. We need
there's the 3
personal,
things you said. Yeah.
We need personal, promotional,
and
educational. Utilize your Facebook page just the same way, or whatever you decide that you want to do with social media. Contests work really well. Right now, for Valentine's Day, we have a promo on for Valentine's Day on our Facebook page, and basically we posted that if every week leading up to Valentine's Day, I think it was 3 weeks, you could email us and we would put your name in for a draw. So first week, I think we had 10 to 13, I can't remember the exact number of emails that first week. We had the draw. We took a picture of one of our staff standing with a big poster board with the lady's name who won on the poster board. Of course, she made a comment on there. Second week, I was in Winnipeg last week and in my salon. And Monday morning, Sherry opens up the email. She has 19 emails waiting for her for this contest. 19, and that's just on the first day, and they have till Friday to get in. This morning we had on our Facebook page, we have the name of the winner for this week. This coming Friday, we will have a grand prize draw. All of the people that have entered are put back in, and they will get entered into the grand prize draw for a large basket.
So Facebook's just a great way to sort of promote your contest. And actually, Tamika asked a great question. Should it just be on her business Facebook or on her personal as well?
You can share. Everything should be on your business page.
Exactly.
But you can share
on your personal.
Because it gets it out to more people.
Yeah.
So definitely post on your business page and then share it with your personal page.
Right, because Catherine runs our Facebook page at the Profitable Salon Owner, and she just does such a brilliant job of it. And my job is to make sure that I share it on my own personal page, because I have so many salon owners, et cetera, who are also friends, and so that way we connect both ways. And I think you also shared, of course, on your personal as well. So it just really makes sense, because between us, that's 3 times that we're getting it out there.
Yeah.
So if you've got, other stylists, or service providers in the salon, make sure that they're sharing your posts as well on their personal page. Just gets it out there.
Yeah. And again, you're just reaching out and touching people. I mean, it really is just another tool. But again, it's a system. You have to be doing it 2 or 3 times. And one of the things that if you are an independent, obviously you're going to have to do it yourself. If you have multiple people in your salon, we ask some of our staff if they will be on our social media team and help us to run the social media page, because a lot of them love to be on.
Yeah, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
right.
So, they will find posts for us.
And the other thing you can do is you can actually pay to boost your post. And I must say, Catherine, since we've been doing some of that with the Profitable Salon Owner, it's amazing how many people it gets out to. It's just incredible. For what, $10 or $15?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, again, it's just, you know, it's targeting. Crystal said, I'm independent. She asked a couple of questions. So what would, a few examples of what they would win? For us with this contest, they won a product. So it was a skincare product for us, but that was what they won on this one, and then the basket for the last draw.
And
you know, they can win a service.
Yeah, you pick the price of what you feel that you can afford, and then build a contest around that. For the most part, it doesn't have to be enormous, you know, costly things. It can be something simple.
Yeah. And some people, you know, depending on the contest, some people are just competitive. They love to compete.
Absolutely.
For any of these
any way that we can engage them and keep them connected with us. That's the most important thing here. So
that's social media. And I mean, there's a whole other segment to that, and that's Facebook ads. I'm not going into that today because that is truly a whole department all by itself.
Yeah. Maybe next time, who knows?
So here's the biggie. Monthly promotions.
Ooh, Catherine, this is just such a tricky subject for us to talk about because in the hundreds of salons that I talk to and call on, I got to tell you, it's so rare to find a salon that is regularly doing promotions.
Well,
and here's the thing. I'm not saying that they're not putting out that sandwich board out front of the salon saying $15 off their haircut. That's not a promotion.
Or 15%.
Or 15%.
A lot of them. I see percentages a lot.
I hate that. I just, sorry, it drives me crazy.
And here's the thing with percentages. Clients don't want to think. They don't want to think, like, so 15% of what? That's why I use dollars a lot. I'll give you $10 off, $15 off, $20 off. You know,
we don't think in percentages.
No. So it's $20 has more value to someone than a percent.
Exactly. Because they don't see that, you know, 10% isn't a number.
Yep. And Carolyn says she barters with a florist in town and she uses her credit to either send flowers to clients or it could be used to win a huge flower bouquet. I'm a big one. I'm a big one for joint venturing with people.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. And whether you're independent, it doesn't matter the size that you are, you can do that. You can forge alliances, forge these joint venture partnerships, and then it becomes very affordable.
Exactly. And you scratch each other's backs.
Totally.
Yeah. Love it.
It's a great way of doing it. But monthly promotions, what should monthly promotions be all about? Well, I believe they should be split into service and retail. You should always have a service promotion running, and you should always have a retail promotion running. Now,
here.
I would, caution you, if you are someone that is completely booked up, you may not have to have a promotion running all the time, but we all know that we do have months that are regularly slow.
Isn't that this month right now? What I mean, February. It's always been one of the slowest months I found when I'm talking to salon owners. But here's the thing: if we do everything right, it should be just as busy as every other month.
Well, I will tell you, in my own salon, we just had a fantastic January. It was a great month. Our productivity was good. Our service and retail dollars were up. So it was a great month. But we always have promotions running. I have a big salon. I have a lot of staff, and I have a lot of young stylists at the bottom who are building their business.
Well, why don't you show them a copy of the promo that one of the promos you've done, because I just love it.
Yeah, and this is only a portion of the actual full page. I couldn't resize this. It just didn't want me to resize it.
Because we do lots of things really well, but technology isn't number one on the list.
Graphics isn't necessarily the thing that I do all that well. But so this is the promo. My salon is in Winnipeg. it has been an absolutely brutal winter there. It has been brutally cold, and when it hasn't been brutally cold, it's been snowing.
And I think a lot of the east coast of the States has been going through this as
Yeah.
well. But Catherine, why don't you break down some of the key points in this promotion? Because it's I think that, what you've got here and the groupings is really important.
So basically, because it's been so cold, our headline is always, I try and call attention to the headline. So let's pretend it's summer. Who doesn't want to do that when it's so cold? So again, I'm targeting my market. I'm going after teams, and it's highlights, lowlights, or ombre. It's for and we say on there, it's right for our junior associates. I have a testimonial up there because people love to know that other people like you. We have
created scarcity.
We've created scarcity. We said we only have 57 packages available, and then some of our limitations are on there. Unlimited highlights, lowlights package. It does go on to tell you what's all included in the package and the price. The price on this one is $99. It has been a fantastic promotion for us. We have done very well with it and kept some of our young stylists busy.
Well, tell them a little bit about the Mad Men Monday you did, because that was hugely successful.
Yep. Again, we are building a young team of junior stylists at the moment. They've just graduated from our training program. And one of the things that most of them have trouble with is men's haircuts. So
interesting.
We wanted lots of men to come through so that we could, get them comfortable with men's haircuts. And they all work on Mondays. So we put on a promotion, Mad Men Mondays.
I love it.
And it's targeted at men. And I'll tell you, last Monday when I was in my salon, I came walking out and the salon was full of men.
So I think you told me that first day that you had that posted, you had something like 33 appointments made in one day. It was just, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be afraid to, put promotions out, but really target them towards the people that need to, that you need to build. Or if it's yourself, don't be afraid to put a value add promotion together for yourself and get it out there. And again, with Vagaro, at the click of a button, this is all available. Not this particular ad, but it's available to you. You go into your marketing tab, you can look at your marketing tab, you can go in, you can choose templates. And if it's not there, if there's something there that you don't see and you need something else done, get in touch with the marketing department at Vagaro, and they can do a custom template for you. It will cost you a little bit, but it's still.
I know, but you look at what what the marketing department is putting out. It's fabulous. It just looks so great. So there's no excuse why we can't be doing this, because basically it's been done for you with the program that you've got.
Yeah. So Susie runs the marketing department at Vagaro. She does a fantastic job, and it's as simple as the click of a button. There is no reason not to reach out and touch someone when you have this program. The more we reach out and touch someone, the better and the higher your client retention will be. And I'm not saying email them every day, but if you just do those simple things that we talked about, birthday cards, new client letters, monthly promotions. And I will say, our monthly promotions, we print them out, we put them all over our salon, we put them on our website, we put them in the bathroom, captive audience in the salon. We put them on Facebook. We put them wherever we can. I mean,
don't keep it a secret.
No, do not keep it a secret. And we email out. Now, that is one thing I will say with our monthly promotions, that we are getting a lot of return on investment with. We get a lot of people from our that do open our emails. And, I think they start to look for the promotion.
Because they know that it's coming from you, right? There's a couple little questions here, Kath. For the promotion on screen now, are the vouchers sent separately?
Depends how.
On what you're sending out.
In email, the vouchers are sent.
Susie's just replied there. You're wonderful, Susie.
Thank you, Susie.
Yeah. So the most important thing, I think that what I'm hearing you say, though, Catherine, is that consistent use of a marketing system. It is vital to our business.
It is. It is so vital to get the follow-up in place before we start looking to bring new clients through the door.
Exactly. So take a really good look at what you're doing to keep clients in your business. Make sure you've got a solid system, then start looking at new clients.
When Aileen and I do this as a live presentation, we have a roll of toilet paper that is actually printed with American dollars, and we actually rip off the toilet paper, because essentially, if you don't have a follow-up system in place,
you're flushing it away.
You're flushing your money down the toilet.
Here. Catherine, we're just about out of time. If you want to go to that last slide, I want to give everybody our information. Of course, if you go to our website at www.theprofitablesalonowner.com, you will see a sign-up sheet for our weekly newsletter, which is free, absolutely free, no charge to you, our incredible followers. So we hope you'll do that. And if you want a copy of the I think it was one of the letters we were talking about, and the newsletter, send us your email address at info@theprofitablesalonowner.com. You got that? info@theprofitablesalonowner.com, and we will be happy to send you something out. Now, I think you've also got a very special promotion for us today, don't you, Catherine?
Yes, and this week is Random Acts of Kindness Week. So we thought that we would offer anybody on the webinar. So our random act of kindness for today is that we will send you, for anybody that sends us their email address to info@theprofitablesalonowner.com, we will send you a copy of our scripting for the front desk.
Right, which you can actually buy on our store, but you are going to get it for free today because we're so kind.
Yep. And we hope that you will do something as a random act of kindness and pay it forward.
Right. And by the way, we'll be talking about scripting at the front desk sometime in the months to come. So get your copy so you can follow along.
Yeah. And you don't have to have a front desk person to make use of this.
Oh, no.
If you're the one that answers the phone,
this is invaluable information.
Yeah. If you're the one that touches base with clients, this is invaluable information. Yeah. So please, please, please send us those emails and we will be happy to send you a copy of our scripting.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, everybody, for being with us today. We've just thoroughly enjoyed being here with you. And we look forward to our next webinar, which will be on March the 10th, Monday, same time, same place. So we will see you then, and we'll see you at the end of an email. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.